it's not about Facebook versus Mixit versus WhatsApp versus Instagram versus Google. It's digital versus traditional. It's the role of digital and how it's changing marketing for businesses. So I put some slides together tonight, and really they're about the story that if I was in your shoes, and I've been in your shoes at these sorts of events from various range of businesses and academic backgrounds, the side of marketing that you might find interesting and some of the stuff that we're doing with Facebook. So this is a story I crafted last week, and it's a story about my grandfather, Jim. And this is Grandpa Jim, or James, or Gramps, as I knew him. And it's actually not really him, bless you. It's not really Grandpa, but it was a picture that I would imagine Grandpa would have looked like in the 1900s. And the story that I'm putting together here is a little bit about how he had it easy and how I envy him growing up in South Africa back then. The reason I envy him is when he went shopping and when he wanted to buy something, he used to go to his corner store. And that was the full scope of options available to him to go shopping. And he'd go to the store and he'd get greeted there by Bradley. How do we know his name's Bradley? Well, he called the store Bradley's, because that's what you did back then, because you were your brand. You were the brand of the store. It wasn't about the contents. It was about you as the personal marketer, or you providing the personalized marketing experience as the owner of the store. So Grandpa would walk in, and maybe he snuck in and took Dad's car and drove in Dad's car, because Grandpa was naughty. And that, fortunately, didn't follow through into my genes. And he would go into the back and grab his groceries. He would chat to Bradley, and Bradley would say, look, we've got this brand new thing. Your parents are going to love it. It's a bread slicer. It's not a medieval torturing machine, but it's a bread slicer, and there's so many puns on that being the best thing since, or that being cutting edge of the time, that I'm not going to mention all the puns. But the story there was that Jim had a really personalized marketing experience. He arrived into the store, he took his goodies, the car was stocked up with firewood or whatever he wanted to get. He'd walk out, Bradley would just fill in a little piece of paper, he wasn't paying. It was the era of personalized marketing. They knew each other's families, Bradley knew all the details, and that was the experience. There was a problem though, because Bradley was really good at what he did, so the store got bigger. And the problem with the store getting bigger is that Bradley wasn't there so much. So when Grandpa went through the store, he was seeing less and less of Bradley. As Bradley's store grew, there were more and more products and more options inside the store. Soon, this is Stutterford's, but this could be Bradley's. Bradley's store grew into an incredibly big store, and almost this world of department stores that we live in today. And at that stage, there was a very difficult time in marketing where the Industrial Revolution had just happened, the packaging had just been really invented for products, and brands started to try to fill this gap between the personalized marketing, which allowed you not as brands to have a huge amount of communication on your utility and your values and personalized experience with brands because you relied on Bradley, where suddenly we were in an era which has got us today where brands are all that can sell themselves. There are no Bradleys in the stores that can sell these brands. And this is a snapshot from one of the ShopRites, I think, in Kenya. So this was the era, and this was highlighting, I guess, for me, one of the big messages and one of the themes that I've been talking about the last couple of weeks with Facebook, which is personalized marketing didn't scale. It was a wonderful thing, but as soon as it got big, it didn't scale in its traditional form. And as marketers today talk about marketing and talk about marketing at scale, it's really hard to merge marketing at scale with personalized marketing at scale. Classic example is Super Bowl. We've just had it this year. The Super Bowl ads are perfect examples of scale. You've got hundreds of millions of people. You've got these amazing campaigns, but they have to be painfully neutral. They have to appeal to everyone. They've got to appeal to every segment, every country, every age bracket, every demographic, every region. So again, not really personalized marketing, if we think about it. So digital gives us the ability to do this. And I'm going to run through a couple of sort of stories here as to why digital is really powerful. And it's not going to be a Facebooky discussion. It's going to be more of a digital discussion. But the role of digital in marketing going forward and how it brings this personalized marketing at scale back to us as consumers and us as businesses and marketers. So if we go into the 50s, and you guys won't see it there, but there's a pale blue line that's running on the y-axis there, just across above the T, below the T in time spent. And that line is radio. And what happened in the mid-50s is TV came out of nowhere and smashed radio as this ability to tear up time or use time of consumers. And this opened up this marketing channel, which we know today very well as TV. But something happened. Digital in the early 2000s started taking up a lot of the time that we spend through our phones, through our computers. And something interesting happened last year in the US and Europe, and these are stats from eMarketer, where time spent on digital by average consumers overtook the time spent on TV.